Hey Sonia. Yes, you've been working on the background here. So anyway, this is what it looks like at the way you have it now. What I did is I'm just trying to look at some way to mute it a little bit. Um, so I put a black layer underneath it, and then I started to change the opacity. Looks like there's some overlap with these two layers. I'm just wondering, turn this off. Turn this one off, it's too dark. Yeah, I think it probably needs to be moved a little bit just so it doesn't look so blurry. I don't mind the blur a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. It does look a little blurry. So anyway, that's going to be kind of what I think needs to be done. You can also, I think, I don't really have new suggestions because I haven't really seen too many of the changes incorporated. This is pretty harsh, this diagonal, so I would suggest maybe selecting it, the edge, and blurring it, giving it a feather. That will really, what's this one here? That will really help to soften this just a little bit. You don't need to, I mean, you can also do things like use the smudge tool. There's a lot of different things you can do. Though, that's just one thing. You could you could also move the caricature up a little bit, and then it kind of takes care of some of this busyness in the background. The problem with the background is it's just a little bit busy. If you could find a kitchen background that's simpler, or like I say, move this up a little bit maybe, that takes care of part of it. I don't know, maybe not that much though, because you don't want too much negative space down here. Another thing that still needs work is the text. I mentioned last time putting the different words on different layers and really working with the style. I think the green is working okay, but it's just not enough done with the type. I would suggest having a look at some of the examples I posted, and I actually kind of go over some of them to show you, like, why points were lost. Like, this is a really good use of text, and so is this. You can see that even a couple different fonts were used here. So again, you might want to go through and look at some of these. I mean, some of the caricatures were great, but they lost points on the text because, like, for example, that's just too basic. And to be honest, the warp text like this kind of looks amateurish, so you kind of want to stay away from it. Same here, just not good text. I mean, this is such a nice piece, but he kind of just, anyway, so I do kind of discuss that a little bit, so you might want to have a look at that if you get a chance, because you still have one more revision. So that'd be my main suggestion is, working with the background and the text. And some of the areas too look a little bit washed out. I'm not sure if it's the brightness on my monitor, but that's another thing you might want to work on with got your levels here. See, the levels look even better when you turn these off. Because see, what it does is it just makes it too bright. Or you can just work with it some more. It's really affecting a lot of the color. I mean, that even works a little bit, but again, it's clipping. It's going into the background too, so you might want to. I mean, I think this looks better, though this again is a little bit bright. I don't know. Might need to be clipped. Let's see. Even I think without the levels, it actually looks a little bit better. So anyway, just some things to work on a little bit more. Where's the text? The text just needs more work, and everything's pretty centered, so it could be a good idea to not also center the text. It might just create a little bit more variety. Okay, so anyway, one more draft to go. Looking forward to seeing it, okay?